Hey, Boston, you're here in Cincinnati on July 28th, and I'm not. Uh, Keeping an eye on things. Gonna offer some opinions. I've definitely researched this program, that's for sure. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but get the clock ID in the beginning. Certainly know enough about the show now, and like the first time, probably missed 10 things, but at least I catch one or two. Good old drum corps effect there, the first toss, good. The flipping of the drill horn pliers out, it's good, interesting, good speed, good job percussion on the decrescendo stuff. Gymnastics right away, articulations real clear. Pretty straightforward. I'm sure I've told you a million times, guys, you got to make sure those files are dressed perfectly. And again, rifle in the center, good. And runaway, sound effect. I get the repetitive stuff up front. It kind of opens everything up for the battery. You do a good job, of course. The poles. Not all the brass players, but a bunch of them, right? Okay, mellow on your feature, flipping your hands and all. I've seen that enough. Good job. Good volume, good tension. Visually, we just kind of come together. I didn't feel the same tension that I did there. That was good. Love the end of that phrase, by the way. It's got to be almost the entire core. If it's not the entire core. Yep, integration of the rifles, cool. Yeah, little backbeat. Uh-huh. And again, good use of sound effects over. The color guard adds a lot. I mean, there's a boatload of people with rifles in their hands. I have no idea how many. And they're not just faking it either, are they? Nope. You got to catch them. Good job, though. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. You know, just the terms of the. Sorry, I'm leaning forward. Um, just the performance levels of all the chunks. Big change tubas. Okay. Watch the whatever that percussion lick is behind the trumpet feature over there. Something wasn't kosher. Now we're all on, well, not all on sabers, but a bunch of us are. Careful, just quality between the different percussion segments in terms of some of these accents. It gets pretty wide, you know, and for it to attract my attention is because it's not wide very often. So I guess in this, I don't know this piece, but it's got to be your ideas that come from that time frame. Certainly a different, yeah, I was going to say just a different feel altogether from most anything else in the show. And not easy to do with all the dynamics and then throw a little body work in there. Uh-huh. Yep. Change. Yep. A little bit into the 6/8 here. Not a whole lot happening visually. Don't know that you need it to, but I'm noticing that there's not. Could be me. I saw the toss over on side 2 that everybody, all the girls yelled for. All right, so change of style, change of mood, change of responsibilities for the wind players for sure. I do also, just me again, I do, not now, but I do have oftentimes where I just feel like the integration of the garden, it's not like it's a designed integration, it's just more like they're in between, the brass players in between. And there's so many of them and they're in a different color that I see it often. I start to notice the similarity a little bit. How you got them out there, See, there are times where if I was judging visual analysis, I would have some questions just in terms of the construction, the responsibilities. Not so much effect. I mean, like the folks laying down out in the back. There's certainly a reason for all that. Kind of balanced with the turns just the weight of the field with the color guard on side 2. Keyboards have their opportunity. You know, there's a lot of responsibilities you have in this day and age for everyone to have their turn. Good arrival. You have the batons. You get a couple cheers here from the folks in the audience. Yep. A little of everything. Kitchen sink, right? You see, I mean, that music does not emotionally tie me into a ballad. Now, could I name one that does? I don't know about this year, but certainly there've been a boatload. Doesn't mean you don't play it well. Doesn't mean you don't entertain. Just the emotional aspect of it all. Okay. Yeah, percussion for percussion. I guess I generally try to see what I can do to support people moving to some other level of contribution there. But tempo good, but trombones well done. Yeah, visual design's not over the top or anything. We're really relying on the sound of the ensemble and the color guard. Boom. Yeah, they're your number one asset, I'd have to say here. All right, and the tag. Sorry, I'm flipping things around here. Um, you want to make sure. Honestly can't remember. I think that's new. The ending, although I think you could have another one. But regardless, if there's going to be a tag, and this is a discussion all the time, you want to make sure that you have the place in an absolute uproar, and then the tag. So if they're waiting for the tag, or they're, there's not a lot visually that occurs before that tag. We're pretty much in a block. We play loud. Color guards driving the visual. I think that is a little bit risky, but on the other hand, I don't know. Like if that's your asset, I don't know how many. There's got to be at least 50, right? Um, they're your visual asset, and you use them. And as much as the activities become chuck it and chuck it and chuck it and chuck it, it's kind of like an indoor color guard show. You have so many, and they do it so often, and for the most part, so well. It works. It works. It works in terms of you know. It works in terms of just generating the effect. Um, Second percussion feature feels like a percussion feature. To me, not so much like it was musically integrated into the program. And I know you're like number one or two, so who am I to say anything else? But it does feel incomplete in some ways, like as you can tell in my non-speaking sometimes. Visually, it's puts people in the right place. There's a couple nice moments. Very beginning of the show comes to mind. Percussion lines, obviously, very, very good. Brass wise, like I told somebody, I said, they can win every caption. I mean, every performance caption, whether or not visual ensemble, brass ensemble, music ensemble, I should say. I don't know. I don't know. But all that said, well done. Great drum corps. I know you guys are going nuts. Keep Colin under control. He doesn't. We don't want him to have an aneurysm. And I wish you the best. Hopefully, I'll see you somewhere live. So it's finally everybody's getting back to the East Coast here, slowly but surely. And it looks like we're going to lose the heat here after like Wednesday or at least Thursday. So it's supposed to be a great weekend. So enjoy. And that's about it for me.